There are often disputes about what really goes on during incidents between police officers and the public. I mean, we've seen it here in Canada. More recently, of course, we've seen it in the U.S. One solution is for officers to wear body cameras. That way they can record what goes on. Starting next week, in fact, some police officers in Toronto will take part in a pilot project. CBC's Ron Charles is on the story live from police headquarters in Toronto. So this trial beginning next week, Ron, what will it involve?
It will involve, Suhana, 100 police officers spread over 2 Toronto police divisions. They will be wearing 3 different kinds of body cameras that will record their interactions with suspects and some of their investigatory duties. The police service here is not the first in Canada, of course. These have been tested in several other cities, Windsor, Calgary, Edmonton, to name a few. In the United States, cities have also been using them, and they've actually reported decreases in complaints about police brutality. So, this camera may be protective for the officers, protective for the public. Who knows? The police force here is going to be implementing them for 1 year in those 2 districts with 100 officers before deciding whether to deploy them across the service. Staff Superintendent Tom Russell explained exactly what's going to be happening.
The body-worn cameras will be activated every time an officer responds to a call for service or is investigating an individual during the course of their duties. Officers are expected to notify the public when activating the body-worn cameras as soon as reasonably possible, and officers have been trained on issues of privacy and human rights.
And Ron, knowing the concerns about body cameras, but the fact that complaints have gone down, what are the issues people have with them?
Well, about 12 of Canada's privacy commissioners have raised this issue in a document that they published, encouraging police forces to consider the privacy issues very seriously. They say that, there are questions about whether, how long is this information kept? How long are these videos kept on the servers? Would a member of the public have the right to ask that the camera not be turned on if they don't want their interaction with the police officer to be recorded? There's also concerns about face recognition technology. Is that going to be used? The police department here, the Toronto Police Service, says that they've addressed all of these issues with the privacy commissioner. And that what they're doing here is this pilot project is to determine, how the cameras could be used in the daily lives of the police officers, and what the reaction is of the public, and how that works. And also they're evaluating, which of these 3 cameras is appropriate for their use. They have different qualities and different battery life, that kind of thing. So they're going to do this for 1 year and then determine at the end of that whether or not this is good for Toronto, good for the Toronto Police Service.
Thanks so much for that, Ron. CBC's Ron Charles in Toronto.